Hi, this is Carolyn Anderson with cohort number 34, and I am doing my assignment for my case study and my reflection paper, and I have chosen to use an innovative way to do this assignment in conjunction with presentation slides and a written document. I am also choosing to use a video because I learned in Dr. Peter Jonas's class that there are different type of learners and there's different ways to communicate an assignment or different ways to communicate a presentation. You can use video, you can use pictures, you can use written. And since this year is, the theme for this year is innovation, I have chosen to be quite innovative. I could simply write a paper and just tell you what I've learned, go over the slides and the presentation from Dr. Frontier and Annalise, but I chose to be able to go from my memory so that I can know what did I actually use and what can I apply. Because you know, it's one thing to just write a paper and to synthesize about it and to get the grade and just to move on, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to know that I actually had something that I learned from this exercise. For one, I never knew about the magic band from Disney, how you can just purchase the band before you go to Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one it is in Orlando, and go down there and they know your restaurant, the food that you want. They know you by first name. I think it is innovative. It is an absolutely marvelous idea. Do they maybe they have too much information? Perhaps. However, it's convenient. It makes you feel worthy. And so just going on with the case that we have, we were to choose a problem that we have identified in our group, and my group was the for-profit group. And so we've identified a problem that was across the board for all 5 of our organizations, and that was onboarding. What that is the onboarding is for new employees, regardless of whether you're an executive or an employee. It seems like the onboarding process for all of our organizations is weak. It is lame, and it is causing a lot of money because a lot of individuals that we hire in our organizations are not staying because of lack of information that they did not receive during the onboarding process, or just did not connect to the organization, or did not even understand what is their next step in the organization. So we are going to redesign the process for the onboarding across our organizations, and perhaps that can be used for other organizations. So one of the first things that we needed to do was identify the problem, and we talked through the problem and came up with some solutions that we can use for onboarding. And so some of those, why? Because you know, again, we need to have something that's cost effective, something that is more streamlined. We needed something that could attain to different type of employees, because different employees learn different way. So we can't just assume that if we have them meet with HR and just read a book that that would be something that they can use for onboarding. So one of the things that we suggested was that we would have a process where it was very interactive, very innovative, that they would be, the new hires would have a video game that they would play, and in this video game they would be able to learn more about the company. We would be able to learn more about them. If there's more than one employee in this onboarding process, we would have them play the game amongst each other. We also wanted to do an assessment right away with the employee to understand their learning style. Perhaps they're visual, perhaps they're audible learners, perhaps they are written learners. Whatever their style were or was, we were going to select the best method to teach them the onboarding process. In this assignment, we also decided that one of the solutions is to assign a mentor to this individual that will be with the individual for at least 3 years, because we believe that the first year of employment is really surviving, the second year is more of managing, and the third year you're thriving. So that's the consensus that we came up with as a group. And so we believe that if we can have a mentor, it will be a mutual benefit, because some of the seasoned employees that we've also found in our for-profit organization, they feel a little bit unworthy, that they don't really belong anymore. And so we believe that if we have this mentor assigned with this new employee, that they would feel valued, that they will feel like they are really essential and necessary for the organization. So that was one of the solutions that we came up with in order to be able to change the onboarding process. And so following the ideal 5-step process, that would be, the first step would be to understand what the content and the context and the content of the problem is. Then we would do some observation to see, or testing to see if it works. It's kind of like a strategic plan, right? And then we would visualize, evaluate, and refine. And I think last is to implement. It's kind of like a PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act. I believe in the school systems, it's called a PDSA, Plan, Do, Study Act. And so it's the same process. You got to have a plan in place, so a strategic plan. So we would implement a plan in place that we would use for the onboarding process. We would do it, and then we would have a check-in process, evaluation. So this new employee and these new employees would get evaluation so that we can know if this onboarding process is effective or not. Because if it's not, then we need to do some CI, continuous improvement. We need to be able to do some evaluation, reevaluation, what's not working, what was good. And so feedback is very essential in this new onboarding process that we're going to be implementing and be doing a case study about. And so using technology is a very effective way in order to do this this new innovative way of onboarding, because we can have the person be at their home even before they start employment and be able to go on the computer and log in and to get familiar with the organization even before they step a foot in the organization. We also recommended a solution that if the individual, if it happens to be a company that is not, that has a different corporate office that this employee is not working at, that he or she would get a chance to go visit the corporate office, to speak with the leaders, and to just feel like they're a part of the crew, that they belong. Individuals want to feel valued and want to feel like they are an asset to the organization. And so having them being a part of the home, the corporate office, the home office, and they call it different things, that would just make that individual feel so valuable. And so again, this is Carolyn Anderson from cohort number 34. I am videotaping my assignment for the case study and the reflection for finding a problem in our organization. And just wrapping up, it is about onboarding, and we chose onboarding because service can be also a product and a problem. And across the board, there was an issue with onboarding and an employee, to hire an employee and to go through the training. It's 3 times the base salary of the employee. So we may hire an employee for $40,000, but if they don't have a good onboarding and they're not there past their probationary period, then that may cost the organization over $120,000. 4 times 3 is 12, yeah, $120,000. And so we don't want that to happen, because that's not cost effective or cost efficient. And so thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be able to use a video to share my assignment. And I hope that I did well. I'm sure I did. I hope I do. I'm confident. This is an innovative way of doing my assignment. And I am going to sign off now. And I've reached my limit, which is 9 minutes for this assignment. Thank you.